Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. This will be a campaign update for the Power Rangers campaign. We gamed last night and I actually made some notes and I can remember a good deal of what all we got up to. So hopefully this recap will be more complete than the last one. So where we last left off, we had just defeated some putties and we were in the park. Remember, I'm a player in this game, not the game master, so my details are from a player's perspective. We have to make it across town to the next incident. Something's interfering with our teleportation abilities. So we go and locate a police officer, and he drives us to the destination. He drops us off at the front door. We get out attacking two odd looking putties compared to the putties we had been seeing. These have two faces and they're bigger than the other ones. We engage them with our for the most part with our blade blasters. The Pink Ranger's shooting at them and then the rest of us are trying to engage it in melee. I end up doing enough sharp damage to one of them to split it in two. So now we had two of them to fight. And at that point we realized that sharp damage is not what we want to use. These putties took a lot more damage to take out than what we're used to. I end up using my once per encounter power to take out the other one because it does energy damage instead of sharp. And so I took out the other big one, and then we had the two smaller ones to deal with that between the Orange Ranger and the Black Ranger, they end up taking out with martial arts. So from there we go into the lobby of the building. This building is the tallest building that's supposed to be in Angel Grove. And I made the joke that it's the tallest building now because all the Zords have been knocking down any other building that's taller. And this is supposedly one of the bank buildings. Well, we stop at the lobby and we allow the Black Ranger to do some medical treatment to everyone that was injured in that fight, which was me, the Orange Ranger, and the Black Ranger. He ends up not healing the Orange Ranger by a bad roll. So the Orange Ranger's hurting worse than everybody else. We head up we take the elevator. The Black Ranger uses his emergency key on the elevator and gets us to zoom us straight up to the 18th floor. So we pop out on the 18th floor. He locks the elevator so nobody else can use it without a key. And I jump out into the middle of 6 putties. I attack one of them, killing it, I believe. I believe I hit and killed. And then I'm now surrounded by the other 5, and then the other Rangers attack them from the doorway of the elevator. I end up taking a couple of good hits the following round. After that, I'm looking at story points because we had story points, and we've not really used the story point effects much in the games. So the Game Master goes over what we can spend a story point to do, what each of the effects we could choose from was. And one of them would have helped me and the Orange Ranger earlier in the game. So I use that one, since I'm still surrounded, I use that one story point to boost my armor class, my melee armor class. So I go from a 20, which is really hard to hit to begin with, and up it to 25. So now they have a really hard time hitting me. I turn my back to the 2 that were in front of me to engage the one that was on the Orange Ranger to allow him to have flanking on his turn, which gave him advantage on his attack roll. I end up missing the one that was on him. I was trying to kill it to aid him and speed up the process, but between him and the Black Ranger, they take out their 2. I know the Pink Ranger took out 1, and I think that just left 2 left or 1 left. I don't remember. All I know is that within the next round, all of them were down. So I go and I go over to the doorway to the roof, and I hear talking, so I turn on the communicator and let Zordon and Alpha 5 make a recording of that, or at least have it in the database. And while they get a recording of that, the Black Ranger's healing the Orange Ranger and himself. And he actually succeeds at healing the Orange Ranger this time. On a side note, the Blue Ranger player wasn't able to play today. If he was able to play, we might have had more healing going on and a little bit faster on the healing. But that's a side note. As is with any other role-playing game, players can't make all the games because life happens. So now we go to progress to the rooftop. There's a scientist baddie with an orb and a big putty. I charge out onto the roof, and then I roll the worst initiative I rolled all game. Even with the follow me bonus of everyone going with me, it ends up being like a 9, where all my previous ones were about 20 or higher. So everyone else ends up under me by no more than 4 points. They have a range. They roll a d4, so you subtract 1 through 4 from my initiative to determine your initiative when you use the follow me. But they boost my initiative total when I roll by the amount of people following me. So that's the advantage, disadvantage to that. So I charge the big putty. I end up missing with my once per encounter attack that I was trying to use to destroy the putty. So that ability is no longer usable for this encounter. The Black Ranger charges up, and he engages the putty. I think he hits him for 1 damage, or he misses. Either way, when the putty counterattacks, he rolls a 1 and pretty much goes down to the ground. As he goes down to the ground, he provokes an attack of opportunity from me and the Black Ranger. So my Red Ranger hits him for 2 points of sharp damage. And I don't remember if the Black Ranger hit him. I just know that was my big hit on the guy. And then the following round, we take him out. I think the Black Ranger does. Take him out with martial arts. That way we could do some bludgeoning damage to him instead of sharp and not split him into 2. Meanwhile, the Orange Ranger took the initiative to jump up in there, past the scientist bad guy, and grab the orb device thing that he's using. And then he runs from that guy. So I go, after the putty's defeated by my feet, I go and try to help him play keep away with that guy. So he tosses me the orb. I catch it, which was a surprise. I get attacked by the guy because I was closer to that guy than I was the Orange Ranger. I toss the orb to the Black Ranger, and I roll terribly, so it impacts the ground and shatters. And then we collect the bits. I think that guy got away, teleported away, but we collect the bits of the device that we destroyed and bring it with us to Alpha 5 and Zordon so they can analyze it further and see if they can if it's needed, they can either reconstruct it or reverse engineer the effects of it to get what we need. At this point, Zordon gives us a break from the day, and so we go and we try to unwind and spend the night sleeping and healing, recovering our personal power based on our Power Rangers recovery. Mine would recover 2 personal power points a day. My guy's more combat oriented, so he gets less personal power. Is the setup for the Red Ranger. After that, we come back and we're charged with finding and negating these areas of chaos that was created by the device. That's my character's interpretation of it because he's not sciencey. There was a science term used, and the Orange Ranger for sure understood it. I, out of game, understood it, but didn't write it down because my character wouldn't understand it. So we're to go where the critical mass of that stuff is, where the next level down, there's 3 or 4 spots to the next level down from the critical mass of that stuff. And negate this energy, so that way the grid would return to normal. And then I think there's one last spot that has like just a minor amount. So that's what we'll be getting into next game. Hopefully this covered everything. I had a lot of fun that adventure, even though that adventure only lasted, I think, 2.5 hours of playing, 3 hours of playing. We started at 7:30, at least 2 hours of playing. We actually got a lot done that time. So, well, we'll see the game again in about 2 weeks. So, until we all game again, guys.